Hello everyone who is watching us on Elvet Voice TV, amplifying voices, inspiring the world. This is Adellah Ainembabazi, a presenter of a straight youth program.
Namanya Jim is my name. How are you, Ainembabazi?
Thank you.
You're very good.
This is Elvet Voice TV, amplifying voices, inspiring the
Hello everyone who is watching us on Elvet Voice TV, amplifying voices, inspiring the world. This is Ainembabazi Adellah, and I'm so glad to be the host of today's program. And with me here, I have a guest. He can introduce himself to you.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much, Adela, for hosting me on today's show. My name is Namanya Jim, and I'm a recent graduate of Information Technology and Computing from Chambogo University, but I currently work with Butema Solutions Limited as a senior IT specialist, and I'm also a student. I'm pursuing a degree in telecom engineering, and a lot about me, but over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jim. Today's program is all about the straight youth, and majorly today we shall be looking at a topic, navigating a postgraduate maze. How can you find your way out without losing yourself? If I'm to talk about in simple terms, there are challenges we normally face as we try to shift from our campus life to the work life or to further your educational studies. So, Mr. Jim, how can you talk about this topic to introduce it briefly as we go on with the program?
Thank you so much. Before I dive into the topic, allow me appreciate the management behind Elevate Voice TV. This is a nice innovation. I like it so much because a lot of youth are just out there suffering. It is very good to come up with such programs that help the youth out there. So if we talk about the navigating the postgraduate maze, some people may think postgraduate, we are talking about maybe those who are pursuing higher education, but not really. We are talking about the recently graduated students. As you are aware, Chambogo graduated last year in December, and Makerere University was graduating in January, right? Yeah, they have just graduated, and over 220,000 students from both institutions have graduated with degrees, postgraduate diplomas, master's degree, and PhDs. And other institutions, we are not talking about only Chambogo and Makerere, but we are talking about Mostema, Rira, Mbara, Kabale, other institutions of higher learning, Ndeje, KIU, IU, and all other institutions. Now we are discussing this topic, navigating the postgraduate maze. After campus, what next? Maybe to put it in two simple terms, the maze, we are trying to say the complex networks. Actually, it may also mean confusion. Very many youth out there who have just recently graduated are very confused. That is a matter of fact.
Stuck out there, they don't know what next step they should take.
True, and that is experience. Yes. As you're trying to go through that, you are experiencing life, and that is very important. But we need guidance on how we are supposed to take our next journey of life. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jim, for introducing this topic very well. As he has said, there are challenges we normally face as we are immediately out of campus to that's life when you are joining the work field. So today we are mainly focused to see at the challenges we normally face as we fresh graduates. What are those challenges that have led us to stuck on the way or has disrupted us from joining work life or to further your education? What are those challenges? Mr. Jim, you can talk about those challenges.
Thank you so much once again. And these challenges may seem to be maybe common to everyone, but they are not. So one of the challenges I can talk about is confusion. Confusion is a serious challenge on all the postgraduate students, those who have just recently graduated. It is very important. Very many are out there confused. They're asking themselves, now after campus, what next?
Yeah, they don't know what they should do immediately.
True, that is very, very important. They don't know. Now they have just recently graduated. Some of them have first class, have second class upper, have second class lower, but they don't know what next after this.
Yeah, actually, when you talk about a first class, second upper, second lower, I know most of us were so much expectant that immediately after campus, with my first class, with my second lower, we shall immediately get jobs, and those good ones. But we are confused after being unsuccessful in that. You're just there, I don't know, what should I do? So mainly that is what he's trying to do. After being unsuccessful, what do you need to do immediately after that?
Very, very important.
Yes.
And now that takes me back to the secondary. We used to have career guidance.
Yeah.
Me specifically, I like giving examples about myself. Me specifically, I did IT, but IT was not my choice.
Yeah.
It was given to me on government sponsorship. But I had opted for engineering, but I didn't do engineering. So in that scandal, that confusion, I knew what I wanted. I said, let me first take on this degree, gain all the experience, get everything I need, then I go out, and if time is right, I'll do my what? My engineering. But someone is just out there. He's doing security and social ethics. I'm not saying it's a bad course. It's a very good course.
Nice
but
one.
Maybe they applied, they put choices. You say put 4. So that he was given the 4th one. And now being given the 4th one, he's just studying it. He has just graduated. Everyone home knows our son, our daughter has graduated with a first class degree. But actually, this guy who has just graduated doesn't know what next. Doesn't have people he looks up to. He doesn't know where to start from. And that is very, very important. So confusion, that is very, very important. Another challenge that I can talk about, maybe I will expound these challenges as we move on with the program.
It's okay.
But the next challenge is peer pressure. This is not, okay, let me not say peer pressure, because peer pressure may mean just pressure from the peers. But it's this pressure, group influence, bandwagon and what. But I'm talking about the pressure, maybe pressure from parents, pressure from family members, pressure from other students. Now, if I talk about pressure from the colleagues, you have just recently graduated, and someone you graduated with is driving a V8.
You can find someone is driving these expensive vehicles, and you wonder, you'd be like, should I think he saw this money from the parents or?
Very, very important. You see someone is in a very, very big position. He has money, he's supporting very many people, he has a lot, and you wonder, was I bewitched? What's wrong? But that is something to note. That is something very important to go careful about, because everyone has his or her own destiny. You don't know, how did this guy get into this? How did this guy get the money to buy this V8? But for you want to just move on that pressure, that is, someone goes there and starts stealing, maybe to get those riches. And
actually, to add on that, someone might have immediately finished campus, and by God's grace, that person starts from bigger positions. Maybe you can find that person is doing with different ministries, these big organizations, So you can find your colleague whom you were studying with, that person is seated at home, doesn't have anything even to cook or to, like, he doesn't have money to get what he or she wants. So by facing that, you can find that person is even stressed. And that stress, when you keep on thinking about what do I need to do next, or where should I get the money, it might even lead you to get stuck on your way.
Very, very important. And that's, you have talked about stress. That is very, very important. Depression in Uganda is real.
Real.
Depression. Very many people have gotten this depressed. They are taking drugs, alcohol, marijuana, and what, just because of depression. We have very many people out just there in the ghettos, and they have degrees,
Yes.
they have experience, they have skills, but they are depressed. It just takes one application to a certain organization, and maybe it is declined. They don't give him the job, and then he gets depressed, starts doing nuisance, something that will not gain him anything. Depression in Ghana is that is very, very important. So we are talking about the child of pressure. Let's talk about the pressure from parents, pressure from families. You are the firstborn. For me, I'm very, very lucky because I'm the lastborn in our family, and that is very, very important. But now, Adamba, you are the what?
For me, I'm the fourth born.
Fourth born.
Yeah, out of 6, I'm the fourth born. Yeah.
So you have other kids who are.
Actually, I might also get that pressure. I have to look after my young siblings.
But remember, there are those who are up.
Yeah, I know those 3 first ones. They are there, but they are not all that well off to cater everything that we need. So they can be like, my younger sibling can be there and call me, hey, Adela, I need something to eat. And I be on that pressure to make sure I get something I can send to her as she's at school studying. I also need to take a responsibility somewhere.
That is very, very important. Pressure from families.
Yes.
You have recently graduated, you are the firstborn, you have other 5 kids behind you. And now, these parents, actually, let me tell you something. Some of our parents think when you are done with campus, that's all.
Yeah, actually, most of the parents, they are like that.
Actually, let me tell you the funny thing. Some parents think that when you are out of campus, they even give you a job.
Actually, for them, they may think you need to pay them back. The other money they were giving you when you are still at campus,
some of them think that when you graduate like this, they give you back your school fees, your tuition, they even give you upkeep, they give you money and what to go and start from there maybe.
Yeah.
And that is very, very wrong. That is a wrong perspective.
I know.
Let me tell you, very many parents there put their daughters, their sons on pressure. They say, I've given you these 2 kids.
Yeah. You
are going to take care of them. You have just graduated, you are looking for your way out. But someone gives you 2 kids to take care of them.
But anyway, somewhere you can find your parents were maybe struggling to get for you the tuition, push you somewhere. And they also think that since you have finished campus, you need to also struggle so hard, and at least you support them somewhere to make sure the younger siblings can also reach somewhere, like on the next stage.
That is very, very important. But I'm not saying that is very wrong.
It's not wrong.
Those parents are okay to think like that. But they should remember that you have just graduated. You haven't gotten a job. Actually, they should be helping you to get a job.
If you talk about helping you to get a job, I disagree. You know what?
Why?
Some parents they are struggling so hard, having sleepless nights, looking for your tuition and selling whatever little they had, and you think they can still help you to get a job?
But now you see, helping you might not only be in terms of finance, maybe in terms of connections.
Exactly.
It can also be in terms of prayer.
Yeah, I know every parent has to pray for his or her child.
I don't think every parent.
To my understanding, I think a parent has to pray for his or her own child to make sure he be successful in life.
That is very important.
Yeah.
But that is the pressure we are talking about. When you're going through that thing, actually, let me tell you, your friend calls you, can you please give, I'm broke, give me like 5K, and you also slept hungry. And maybe at some point you are a nice guy, you don't want to be ashamed, you don't want to be seen as a poor person. You try to look for money here and there and you can't get. That is the pressure we are talking about. And it is very, very, very dangerous.
Actually, when you talk about borrowing money from your friend, it is so common.
Very common.
As we are out of campus, I know your parents stopped to fund you when immediately you graduated like this. So now you be getting some ways how you can survive. And I call you, Mr. Jim, can you help me somewhere? Like, I'm in this situation. Would you be having like 5K? Can you help me with it? And you'd be like, I don't have any money. Even tonight I slept and I'm very hungry. So my friend, I can't help you out. And when you get that into your mind, it means you will be so stressed more
depressed. Depression is very, I'm telling you. And actually, there are these people who just get out of campus, they don't have a job, but they are in relationships. I wonder, how do you manage, you guys? Okay, now for instance, you have just graduated, but you are someone is saying, when are you going to our home? When are you introducing me?
Well, there is somewhere I heard that when you start on a relationship with someone, no matter how the situation is, even if it's hard or easy for you to, you need to combine, like you be into that system.
That is very important. But you see, not to every lady. Some ladies they are also pressurized at home. They say, "What are you bringing your husband? What are you bringing your husband?" They have you as their what? Their boyfriends, and then they are also putting you on pressure, and that is very, very dangerous. But I'm not saying relationships are very bad. They are not bad. But as long as there is that mutual understanding, consensus.
As long as you understand one another, actually, in terms of finances, it is okay. You can push on with your relationship.
But relationship without money?
Friend, I know somewhere it is not easy to say that with you people. It is not easy. But as long as I understand my boyfriend, he's like this, I know like in 3 years to come, we shall be well off. I can persist and I be with him.
That is, and now you are a nice person. I don't know. Are you single?
Actually, I'm not.
If you are single, but you have gotten a chance. Yes, because I'm looking for such a lady. I don't know, but because they are very, I'm telling you.
Not that I'm a nice lady, but according to the advices we normally get from our elders, they be like, Adela, if you have your person, just be patient with him. You never know, that person you're rejecting today, that he's not having money, you never know, tomorrow might be having money.
Such advice, you have talked about such advice. Yes. That's why I've told you I need to appreciate a little bit for Steve.
Wow.
Because actually, let me tell you, today we are talking about the postgraduate mates navigating those frameworks. But tomorrow you can be able to talk about relationships and how can you handle relationships, even if you have money, even if you don't have. Very many people out there are just stressed and depressed because of relationships, not any other thing. So such programs are very, very important. And
I think you shouldn't ignore someone because that person is poor. You never know what God has prepared for that person.
I'm telling you. Do you know that?
To me, actually, I've always seen my friends. You find immediately after campus, that person never had even what to eat. True. But in a few years, you find that person is very successful. He has money. He has started to develop himself as longest. So don't at any time reject a person. I don't mean rejecting a person like you love things, what, no. Just take him as your friend, you know.
It is called despising.
Never despise a person.
Actually, there is a saying that never despise a humble beginning.
Never.
That is very, very important. Yes. But now, going back to our topic.
Yes.
We are talking about challenges. Let me tell you something. Very many ladies are facing some challenges of sexual harassment. Have you heard about that?
Yeah. So
sexual harassment.
Very common challenge, more especially to us girls.
They recently graduated. Before a boss gives you a job, he wants to sleep with you. And it is becoming very common. Actually, let me tell you something. I was, social media is very, very nice thing to be on. Let me tell you, I was on my WhatsApp. I saw a meme that it's only in Uganda where a lady goes out, goes out to look for a job and comes back pregnant.
Amen.
It was a meme. Okay, we might laugh about it, but it is very real.
Very, very, very...
Very common.
Yeah, it is so real.
You go to look for a job and the boss is saying, before I give you a job, you need to do something.
Actually, it is not only in the job market fields only, but also when you try to go back to the campus life. I'm very sure you can find someone is pleading for the marks, and some of maybe the lecturers or what, they have to sleep with you before they give you marks. You know,
we have always had those cases. They are very common in campuses.
Yeah.
But now that this is why we are here. We need to help you out. We need to help those students who are out there. Everyone who is going through such challenges. We need to help them out.
Just get informed. Everything gonna be right from here. As we try to talk many challenges, you can see how you can handle different challenges and how you can go through them. Yes.
That's very important. That's very important. Now I want to go back a little bit to the point of pressure from parents.
Yes.
I need to tell you something. Parents, whenever your kids finish campus like this, make sure you sit with them, ask them, what are your plans? What are you going to do next? Some people, some students have just completed campus and they are still here in Kampala. And that's very good because they always say that 99 of the blessings are in what? In town. Yeah. But what are you doing in town? Are you just rotating from here to here? Or some people, let me tell you, another challenge, people despise jobs.
Actually, it's also one of the challenges.
It is a very serious challenge. Someone has just recently graduated, maybe with a degree in there is a course called Science, Technology, Physics, and then they tell you there is a job of teaching kids, maybe in a secondary school. They are giving maybe some good money, or maybe 500,000, and they say, that is not what I studied for. But my friend, you can start from there.
Yeah, you have to start from junior positions.
Let me tell you something. After campus, the main thing you should be looking at is survival.
Survival, I know.
Survival. You should get where to survive from. Even if they are giving you 500, but you see you can balance, you get their rent, you get what to eat, and maybe remain with your little money. That is very important. Yeah. Actually, let me tell you, that thing that you have, that you say, I'm tired of this job is giving me little money, someone else is yearning for that.
Yeah.
And the moment you lose it like this, the day you lose it, you'll understand that it was a very, very nice job.
Actually, when you talk about losing what you have already gotten, remember there are very many unemployed youth out there. So the moment you leave it like this, by tomorrow they will have replaced you with someone else. So just get very well what you already have. Never despise a job.
That is very, very important. And now let's talk about the skills. You have just finished campus. You have done, maybe my course, I have told I did IT. I did information technology and computing. But information technology and computing has various areas that you can maybe get employed in it. Areas of specialization. If someone tells you, I did information technology and computing, I did computer science, I did software engineering, ask them, what are you able to do? In which area did you specialize? Are you a database manager? Are you a software developer? Are you a network administrator? Are you a what? Actually, we were doing internship on from a certain organization, a very big organization, and there came a very big person and said, for me, these IT things, as if these ones are done by these secretaries and what? Then I was like, oh my God. So a secretary, I said, this guy doesn't know secretarial studies. So you are supposed to stand out. Know the area you have specialized in. If you're a network administrator, go for it. If you are a database administrator, go for it. But now you want to be on everything. You want to apply for this one, you have to apply for this one, you want to apply for this one, and that is. And then another thing I've remembered before I forget. Now, these jobs of Uganda these days, they apply. You apply, actually, let me tell you, on of recent, I think last year, that's when UPOS was doing census, right?
Yeah, right.
So during that census time, post-census, let me talk about post-census. There were two jobs. There was data matching supervisor and data matching editor. So those jobs, you would apply like this, and you find like 1 million people, 1 million students, 1 million people have applied for the same job, but they need only two.
So how should we go about that? That one will come on how we can handle those challenges.
Very, very important.
Yes.
But now, for now, we are talking about that pressure, the confusion, and all that, the sexual harassment, and all those challenges that come with just the recently graduated students.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jim. I think we have had different challenges that we normally face as we fresh graduates who are out of campus. So now, Mr. Jim, I have a question for you. How can you please share your personal experience of navigating the postgraduate maze?
Thank you so much. That is a very important question. But before I talk about the postgraduate, let me talk about maybe my when I was still studying. I started working when I was studying, when I was at campus. And my first job was a remote job. Actually, we have social media. But now, very many people don't know how to use social media. That is the challenge we might have talked about.
Most of us, we don't know.
They don't know how to use social media. But when I was in my year 3, I just went to Google and said remote jobs, and there came a website. I opened it and applied. There was a certain job that was from UN, and this job, it was remote. It was from abroad, Indonesia, but they would send me work. I do it on my PC, I get work done, I send, and they would pay me $10 every day. $10 every day. I think $10 is around 38,000 every day.
Yeah, I think if you go into the currency exchanges, it is around there, 38.
Around 38, 30, okay, 35, even if it's 30. But you see, I would get 30 every day.
Yeah, that is good money.
Until my contract was terminated, but at least it sustained me for a while. But then after campus, when I had just completed my project like this, someone connected me to Butema Solutions. And let me tell you, this someone was my friend. That's why when we were talking about the how to overcome these challenges, we need to talk about the social capital. That is very, very important. Social capital. My friend called me and he was like, there is a certain job at this at Butema Solutions and they need this and this. So can you go and talk to the boss? I just went there and said, so and so have given me your number. I talked to him and he was like, tomorrow come and start working.
Oh, that is nice.
That was, so that is how I navigated. But after then I had to apply for my other degree because I wanted it really bad. Like I knew I had to follow my dream. I wanted to be an engineer all along, and I said, let me just go back to school and do my engineering, and that's what I'm pursuing. But I do it together with work. I work, then evening at 5, I just go and do my work. I go for classes. But that is not all. I also do other works. Like there are these works that come, maybe they are remote, and someone tells you, design for me a website. I did IT.
That one who did IT, you know a lot of things.
That one does not mean that you have to employ me and pay me on a monthly basis. No, you just tell me I need a website and I get it done. I'm a graphic designer. I own a company of Breakthrough Graphics. I do graphics designing. Someone says I need such and such graphics. I need this. Flyers, posters, banners, and what, and I get them done, and that's where I get money for survival. So that's all.
I like your idea. Actually, someone who has just finished campus, you see, like it is something that can help you push to some other level. So, like as he has said, the remote jobs. most of us, we normally despise such jobs. Actually, we think when someone talks of a remote job, it means you're going back to the deep village.
Yeah.
Actually, to me, it's what I also thought. It's what I had in my mind, that if someone talks about a remote job, I need to go back to my LOC1 village.
That's not it.
So I think what he's trying to tell us, we shall be able to get more informed about how we should go on this postgraduate maze. Before we go for a short break, how do you think the postgraduates can stay adaptable in a rapidly changing job market?
Well, that is a very nice question. But one, you have also said that it is a rapidly changing.
Yes.
So, meaning as it is changing, you need to go with it. You need to be informed about the current trends. Now you see, we used to have social media, but there was no TikTok. But now TikTok has come, and TikTok is very many people are earning money from TikTok. They advertise their products. They want, actually, some of the organizations, companies, hire people specifically to come and be the social media personnel to maybe
make
advertise on social media, advertise on what.
Yes.
So current trends. Actually, most of the questions they ask on interviews when you have applied for a job is not what you studied in school.
Actually,
it
is not related at all. In most cases, when you go for an interview, you may be expecting to be asked questions you studied in, maybe in the course you did when you're still at campus, but when you get out there, maybe for an interview, you find the questions are totally different.
There is a certain job I applied for, and when they invited me for interview, they asked me what is currently trending in Uganda.
What did you say?
By that time, I think we were in census. It was about to start, and it was all over X and what thing, 9th May of 2024. So actually, it was the current trend. So I had to be informed. I'm always informed. Something I do for life is just go on social media, see what is trending. When I go to X, I see what is trending.
So that you can keep updated each and everything that is going in the country. Even outside country, abroad, like worldwide, you know.
True. And very many students, when they invite them for these maybe oral interviews, they go and read the whole book. They pass through what they studied in year 1, year 2, primary.
You need to get your notes of year 1. You start like for me who did statistics. You need to go and you start on reading of econometrics. You read microeconomics, the basics, so that you can get the knowledge. So that when you go to the interview, you'll be prepared. But when you go there, you find things are different.
You reach there, they ask you biology.
Yes. Actually, they can even ask you who is the reverend of your church. They can say
they ask you the chairman of your village.
I don't know.
Actually, most of the times they are not interested about the exact answers, but their intention is to find out: are you informed? How your humanities? How are your characters? That is mostly what they aim at.
Even another thing about your confidence.
The confidence.
Actually, can you stand in front of the public and you talk to people?
They ask you a question and you start shivering.
No.
Imagine, in front of people, not in front of lions. Someone is shivering and you are like, oh my God.
You can find someone who was used to speak to very few people, maybe 6, but the moment they make you to stand in front of 1,000 people, you start shivering.
That is something you can do with. But you go for an interview, they ask you a question, you don't know the answer, but you start beating around the bush. You are wasting time. You are saying something irrelevant.
So what?
Simply say, I don't know. That is the answer they need, actually. Like for me, I did IT, but if you asked me biology, There are some things I
You
don't know.
don't know.
So you don't expect me to start beating up. I think it's this. I think it's this. Why do you
Just
think?
stand on your feet and you say, I don't know something.
Be confident and say, I don't know.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Jim. Now we are going to have a short break of 2 minutes. When we come back, we shall be talking on different advices, how we can advise the youth out there who have just finished their degree level, how they should go on this postgraduate maze. Stay tuned. We are coming back shortly. Welcome back from a short break, and we are still on Elvet Voice TV with the youth program. And remember to subscribe on our YouTube channel and like, share, comment. As before, we are talking about different challenges as we fresh graduates from university life, how we can go about the postgraduate maze. Before we went for a short break, we are talking about different challenges. As you heard, he shared his personal experience and all that. So we are going to talk about on different ways how we can overcome these challenges. How should we be able to adopt this life after campus? What do we need to do as the recent graduates? How can we be able to survive? And I can hand it all on to you, Mr. Jim.
Thank you so much, and to all still viewing us live, we are glad to have you. Hope you're well and hope you are still following. That is very important question that you have asked me, but I want to maybe inform the people viewing us. If you are a youth, don't lose hope. That is the first point. Don't lose hope, because very many things are still coming. You are still young. Imagine a person is 24, 21, 22, 23, but maybe it's just desperate, and you wonder, we still have 80, 60 years in front. So as we are talking about how to overcome these challenges, I'll start from one perspective. In Uganda, they always say we have unemployment. But let me tell you one thing, the best thing to say is that in Uganda, there is a challenge of unemployability. Not unemployment, but unemployability. Because if you say unemployment, I've been in several WhatsApp groups, job line groups. They are posting jobs. They post over 1,000 every day. In a month, they post 10,000 jobs. Actually, I saw in newspapers, I think it was towards the end of last year, they were saying that over 10,000 jobs, government jobs, are vacant. Positions, actually, that they are vacant. Then I was asking myself, then how comes we have unemployment in Uganda? But now I came to learn that in Uganda, the main challenge is not unemployment, but it is unemployability. What do I mean by unemployability? Are you employable yourself? If you look at yourself, you have just recently graduated. Now, if they hire you in a certain company, what are you going to add in that company? Which skills do you have? Which skills do you possess?
And most of us are people who have just moved out of the campus. We don't have skills. We don't have skills. Most of the people were concentrating on books to just pass exams and they go. But the moment they give you a different field to run it on, you can't.
And now that is very important. Very many people aim at getting marks.
Yes.
Whether they trip with lecturers, whether they cope, whether they do what, all they want is marks. But let me tell you, very many companies, they are not going to employ marks. They are going to employ you as a person. Which skills do you have? And I told you that you apply for a certain job, you find like 10,000 people have applied for the same. But I want to ask a question. What makes you think that you are the best person for that position? The best candidate for that position?
According to me, what makes me to be the best candidate of a given position, they are the skills I have as I personally. The skills I have, they can make me to be the best candidate for a given job. Can I be able to perform this and I perfect it so well? But when you just go by the marks I got on my at the end of a degree level, I think that one it won't be enough. But just first go on and see if this person having enough skills to perform this job and perfect it.
That is very important. Now, in other words, we are trying to say you should be able to stand out among several candidates that have applied for a certain job. You should have that thing that makes you stand out of them, makes you the best candidate
different from other people,
from others
who are competing for the same job.
And that is where the skilling part comes in. Okay, these days they consider English, you must have gotten a D2 a D3 in English, and mathematics and skills and what, but experience, work experience and what. But let me tell you, the best thing is to have skills. If you have skills,
actually, when you talk of the skills, assume someone has just gotten out of campus of recent, but one of the requirements for one to win a job is like you should be having 6 years of experience. And remember, I've just finished my degree, I don't have experience. For me, I was just concentrated on getting good marks, you know. At the end you find I'm losing that chance of winning that job. So how best can I be able to go about that?
wow, I was just waiting for that question because that is a very, very important question. But what I want to bring to your attention, all of you who are viewing us live on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, and everywhere, let me tell you one thing. There are these people who maybe some companies, they advertise for graduate training. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, actually, they are very common these days. I normally see adverts on different job notes platforms. When you go to the WhatsApp, there are those different job notices platforms. They normally be putting those adverts for graduate training programs. So
yeah, you see, graduate, we are hiring graduate trainee. We are hiring them, we are hiring 5, we are hiring 10. And let me tell you, those graduate training staff, they only need you to have completed your degree, your diploma, and you just go, you gain the experience from those who have been in that field. But very many students who have recently graduated don't want that. They want to start from bigger positions.
Yeah, they don't want these junior positions. Actually, if I'm to ask this, how come that in most cases, I personally have, how I said I'm a recent graduate also, I did my statistics, I was doing Bachelor of Economics and Statistics, but I've tried on this and I've been unsuccessful. I normally see different adverts that need different graduate trainees, and I normally take my applications, I go and talk to different people in different offices, but at the end of the day, you find I'm not called. What is that one thing that I'm not doing right?
One thing, even those companies which are advertise graduate training, they don't just need someone who has just graduated. They also want someone who is going to add something to their company, to their projects and what. So what do you have? Which skill do you have that you're going to?
Yes, Auntie, like what we are trying to mean is I'm a fresh graduate, I don't have any skill, and those are graduate training programs, and they help us get different skills. So if you talk about what am I going to add on their company, it means I won't add anything to them because right now I don't have any skill. But my aim is to go there, they start training me, I get those skills, and in few years to come or few months, I'll be able to add on them. I'll be beneficial to their team. So my question is, what is that one thing I'm not doing right? So that I can also be part of those graduate trainings.
I think what you're saying is not right.
Yes.
There is a difference between skills and experience. What you don't have as of now is experience, but you have skills.
Can you
what were you studying? At least, didn't you do communication skills?
Yes.
Can't you communicate with customers?
I did that. But in most cases, when you go, like they normally want those skills maybe in some field. When I was doing icon and stats, maybe to my understanding, I thought they need someone who have skills in that field of statistics.
No, those are not the skills you are talking about. What were you studying? You just did theory. Don't you know SPSS?
Statistics. We did SPSS. We did Stata. We did eViews. During my internship, we did Anacode 3. And I'm very sure at the moment I'm given that chance to go and train with them, I can be so beneficial to them. But my question still stands. Why is it that every time I normally go, I apply for different different graduate positions, but I'm not called? What is it?
Then you are desperate. You are desperate because you have applied for how many positions so far?
Actually, I think
how many
they
times
are all,
have you applied?
They are all, now 5 times.
5 times.
Count well, yes.
And you think we have applied? That is just the start.
Oh.
No. What matters is falling and rising again. It doesn't matter how many times you fall, but every time you fall, then rise again. You have just applied for 5. Oh my God. But you should apply for more, because this graduate training, you find they need two people. They need 2 people
part of the team.
to be part of the team. You have applied 10,000, and now you want them to select you. And you find there are other requirements. They are saying you should be having a D2 in English, you should be having a D2 in mathematics, you should be good at this and this, and you find for you, maybe you don't have those ones. And even if you have, they can't take all of you. That is a matter of fact. So what you have to do is keep on applying.
Oh, okay, there I understand. I think I need, as you have said, I shouldn't give up. As long as I fall, I need to get up and quote.
True.
So, which other advice can you give to those people who are watching us?
Another advice could be, please lower your expectations.
Actually, let me add on this. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But when you talk of expectations, most of us, we are so expectant. You know, when we are doing our degree in different fields, we are so much expectant that since I'm doing my econ and statistics, immediately after my degree, I'll be able to start on doing a good job from different big organizations. So those much expectations, they can make you to be stuck somewhere.
That is what I was talking about. Lower your expectations. It is very good to dream big.
Yes.
Dreaming big is very good. Like dreaming and say, I want to be a billionaire in 5 days. That is very important. No one doesn't want to be a billionaire. But how are you going to achieve that? They use strategies now. They use strategies. Say, I'm going to start small. It is very important to start small. But you want to high expectation. I want to say, I want to be the EDU boss. I want to be the managing director of this company and this. And so you end up in such things. Let me tell you, the first degree, first diploma, first word acts only as an eye opener. It is just opening your eyes to the world. It doesn't mean that when you have finished that degree, you have all it takes to get the job. No. Now, for instance, If you did accounting and finance, yes, you find that very many companies, very many businesses and what organizations, they are putting other requirements. You should be having certifications, maybe SSNA, you should be having CPA, level 2, and all that. And someone has just finished a campus with a bachelor's in accounting and finance, but they want to compete for that job where it is clearly said that you should be having other certifications, CPA, level 2, SSNA, and what? And you have applied like 20, 50 people, and the other ones have level 3 of CPA. And you want to say you are unlucky? You are not unlucky.
Yeah.
No. So if it needs you to go back and do those certifications, you can. Just go and do those certifications.
Actually, when we say a postgraduate means, it also relates that to further your education. Don't just stop on a degree level. Go on and add on other levels. If you want to go and do your CPA, go and do it. If you want to go and do your masters in different fields, if you want to specialize in research, in statistics or biostatistics, please go on and do. Actually, when I say that, like to add on different levels,
yes,
I've always got this advice from different people. They are like, Adela, why can't you go on and add something on your degree? Why can't you go and do masters in either statistics, in economics, in biostatistics? And I'm very sure the moment you add on a degree level, you can be open to very many opportunities. So I think that's what he's trying to mean.
Yeah, so, but there is something I don't encourage. Doing masters immediately after a degree, I don't encourage it. I don't know if I'm on the wrong side, I'm doing a wrong perspective or what. But let me tell you, doing a master's after degree, for me, I don't encourage it, because sometimes you find you are competing for the same jobs with those guys who have completed what? Campus. And you have your masters, but someone who is going to employ you or is going to recruit you, maybe the human resource manager, maybe the boss or the ED or what, has a degree, has a diploma. And how do you expect that guy to what? To employ you, to recruit you, and yet you are more qualified? Actually, I've always had complaints that you take your maybe your application for a certain job, and they tell you are overqualified for the job. Now you ask yourself, surely? I had there are jobs where you find that the maximum requirement is senior 4. The maximum requirement is a degree. So which means if you come with your master's degree, you'll be overqualified for the job.
Actually, there is a job advert which was out last year of URA. Yeah. It wanted an office attendant, and the maximum qualification was senior 6 certificate. That is the maximum requirement that was needed. So what you're trying to say, I shouldn't be so much expectant that someone who did a diploma is going to employ me as someone who did my master's. I should lower my expectations.
Doing a master's degree is very important, it's very good, and I encourage it. If you have the opportunity, maybe you have gotten a scholarship, or maybe you have your money, you can go and do your master's. But please don't just hike your expectations. Just lower them, lower expectation. Know that at a certain point you can even come back and apply for a job using your degree. You first leave out the masters, so that with time you can just say, hey, maybe I have a master's degree, and then they can maybe promote you at a certain point, or you can apply in a different organization. So doing masters is okay, and it's very good. You can go on and do it. And then another challenge that we talked about comparison, comparing yourself. And it comes from pressure.
Pressure, yeah.
Pressure. You are comparing yourself. So my advice here is, please don't compare yourself at any point to other people. Don't. Everyone was born differently. Maybe we just grew from different backgrounds and what. Someone has a dad who works in maybe you are a big organization, and maybe he connects him somewhere, or he gets for him a business or has something, and then by the time they finish campus, they already driving themselves, they have good money, they have good jobs, and you start saying, he man, or they bewitched. Let me tell you, we all have different destinies. So we ought not to be much expectant, but also we ought not to compare ourselves
With
to other people. Just walk your lane. But the most important thing is, as you apply, have a positive attitude.
Positive mind.
Now, this thing of saying unemployment, it has gotten stuck in many youth minds.
Actually, Mr. Jim, when you talk about having a positive mind, I remember this. There is someone who was like a fellow friend of mine. We recently all graduated from Chambogo University. So that friend of mine was like, for me, I have my relative and she works in this organization. I don't want to mention the name of the organization, but she was like, I have my relative, she works here, so I'm very sure she's going to connect me there. But at the end of the day, you find that person is not helping her out. And when you keep on thinking you're going to be connected, at the end of the day, you're going to be at home, you're stuck. That person who promised you to connect you will be like, the jobs are not yet there, but when I get, I will be telling you. So you be at home, you think this and that, you get a lot of stress. So if he talks of this issue of having a positive mind, I think don't base your destiny upon being connected by any person. Just have your application letter. Wherever you see an advert, go and try out your luck.
Actually, as we are talking about that point, it reminded me of something. There was a good friend of mine. He was sharing with me his personal experience, and he was talking to me. Okay, he was above me. He graduated, I think, 2023. So he was telling me that at one point, his uncle, he's very rich in bigger positions, he said that he was talking to him, and the uncle said, send your documents to my email and I will see what to do. I will see. And then what happened? This guy forgotten to send what? To send the CV and the documents and what? So, like after 2 months or 3 months, they met on a certain party. And then the uncle was telling the guy that, oh, I saw the documents and I forwarded them to my friends, and so I'm waiting for feedback. And the guy was like, and yet I didn't send the documents. So that one drives me to the point. Actually, very many relatives, they don't usually connect people. I don't know why, but maybe we can make a difference. Because I'm someone's relative, I can make a difference. Everyone who is watching there, you can make a difference in people's lives. You can start connecting your friends, you connect your... Actually, on my first job, someone who connected me is not my relative, is my friend. And I have very rich relatives around Kampala, in bigger positions. They are known everywhere, but I don't even put them on CVs.
Actually, when you talk about the thing of connections, my advice to you people who are watching me, more especially recent graduates, is don't base your luck upon being connected by your relative. Don't. Though he has said that people make differences in people's lives, but as we said, we should always lower our expectations. If it comes, let it be a chance, but just stand on your own. Always check with different organizations, go on their websites, look for different opportunities, write your application letter, organize your CVs, go and apply. If it was meant to be yours, trust me, at the end of the day, you will be called. maybe some people who normally go there and they apply and at the end of the day are not called. You never know. That job wasn't meant to be yours.
You have talked about something like CVs.
Yes.
I like that. Now, we have faced the challenge as recent graduates. You find someone doesn't even have a CV, and you wonder. Someone says, send me your CV and I see if I can forward it. You don't have a CV. Or your CV is not what? Is not updated. Is not organized. Actually, there is a serious problem. Someone writes a CV, and on the, there is this section of referees. Referees.
Yeah.
And now because they have their uncle in bigger positions in government, is an MP, or maybe is working in a very big organization, they put them as what? As referees.
Yes.
But let me tell you something, that is not what companies look at. You did your statistics, you said you did your economics and statistics, right? But now the person you are putting on your CV as a referee is a what? Is a doctor.
Maybe a
or
governor.
Maybe is a governor. That can be a bit relevant, but you are putting on someone who is just an MP. And you have where you did your internship from.
But you're not putting that person.
You are not putting that person who was your supervisor on internship places, but you're putting someone who is in a bigger what?
Bigger positions. You want to show people that I have a relative.
Yeah, you want to show off, but not only showing off. Maybe I can say, very many people are always expectant. They say, if I put this one, he's known everywhere. They will know him. But they will not employ you because they know so and so. They will employ you because of what you know. So if you put, I did internship from maybe a certain organization, a big organization. You are doing internship from where?
I did my intern from NIRA, National Identification Registration Authority.
That's very good. If you are doing your CV, you have put it in experience as you did your internship from NIRA. Why can't you go on the referees and put your what? And put your supervisor.
One of my supervisors.
You put one of your supervisors.
Yeah.
So if you don't put any, it means you didn't do anything there.
You didn't do, yeah.
You have a bad reputation. But if you have a good reputation at the workplace you work from, or you did your intern from, why don't you put them on one of the referees? And another thing, you find very many people put referees on their CV. They have never met them. They know my uncle is in URA, but they have never seen them. If they call them and ask, do you know Jim Namanya? They say, who is Jim Namanya? And that is the end. They will not explain that so and so applied for a job here. Yeah. We have seen the CV and he has put you in referees. No. So this one drives me to the point. If you put someone on referees, contact them.
That person is going to talk about you.
Contact them, reach out to them and tell me, actually, you are one of my referees on my CV. So in case I apply somewhere and they call you, this is my name and so, I did this course and what. Actually, they call them and say, Jim, oh, that one is my son, is my son, and he did medicine, and yet you did economics and statistics. So you see, that is very important. So inform them, say, I did economics and statistics, I did internship from here, I have these skills, so that when they call them, they have something to talk about you.
I know.
That is very, very important.
Actually, also this drives me to this, engaging yourself in internship.
Yeah.
When you're doing your internship, make sure you engage yourself in those different activities. Don't just go there to sit and show your lecturers that you did your internship. You're doing nothing, only that you want marks. Please, I advise the young people who are there, let us put this into action. When we are doing our internship, let's try so hard that at the end of the day we have gained something. If it is maybe NILA, they deal with the things of registration, with the things of data. Make sure you concentrate in these fields of data analysis, printing birth certificates, issuing birth IDs and whatever. So my advice to recent graduates and those people who are following us, like who are in third years or their last years of degree, make sure when you go to internship, engage yourself in those activities. Yes.
If you are watching us live and you are maybe you haven't graduated, you are a campus student, please make it a point. Know where you are going to do internship from. Select wisely.
Another thing, if it comes to selecting the place of internship so wisely, it reminds me one thing. There is when we are looking for internship places, so someone just applied in a shop, just a shop, and he wanted to do his internship from there. Then at the end of it, he does what? Remember, we normally do data analysis. So in a shop, just shop these usual shops, which normally sell maybe rice, soap, those things.
And they did statistics?
And they did statistics.
Oh, my goodness.
One of our lecturers, the one was telling us, he was so wondering as how can someone apply in a shop to do your internship from there?
That is what I was saying.
Yes.
As you're selecting your place of internship, please look for a relevant company. You are doing statistics. You know, we do much of you have talked of data analysis and what. Look for those companies where they what? They analyze data and what. But you want to do internship from a hospital?
Actually, for the hospital, there is a lot of statistics there.
But it depends on which department. In which department?
Make sure when you want to do your internship from a hospital and you were doing maybe a course which is in line with that, make sure you got those departments, maybe research departments. They normally have a lot of data analysis there.
So we are simply talking about know where you're going to do internship from, what you're going to do there. Actually, some of us are always driven by, this one is a big company. Actually, I regret. Why I did my internship from when I was in year 2, I barely learned nothing. I didn't learn anything. I was just there to waste time. I would even call my supervisor, I'm like, today I'm not there, and say, feel free to take a leave. You see, I didn't gain any skill. I regret. Yeah. If you are selecting for maybe you may find they are giving you some money, and which is okay.
But sometimes, yes. When you're going for a internship, at first you don't know what you will find there.
Yeah.
You won't be all that sure that the supervisor will be behaving in that way. Maybe you call him and he's like, it is okay, just go and take your leave. For you, when you are applying, you are like, I'll be doing this. Like you make your weekly routine be like, first day I will learn this, second day this, third day like this. But after getting into that period of training, you come and find those challenges.
But that one drives me back to what we are talking about, the social capital. You are doing a course, you are doing statistics, but you are in year 1. You don't know who is in year 2. You don't know anyone doing statistics in year 2. My friend, why are you in that campus?
Yeah.
You should be knowing someone. At least these are the people to guide you and say, they recommend some companies. Say, if you do your internship from here and here, you are going to learn this and this. If you do from here, you will not learn anything. Because they have experience in those things. So you can't tell me, they always say, over the ignorance of the law has no defense. There's no way you can tell me that you don't know what is going to take place there. And yet you can do research and see what they did in. So someone who applied in a shop, sincerely, they didn't know that they were going to sell things and what and posho and pills and
only that. Actually, when you talk of like getting people who are in line with what you studied, that one brings this point of seeking for the mentorship.
Mentorship.
Yeah, you need to seek mentorship advice from the people who are in line with what you studied.
That is very, very important.
Yeah.
So know the people who are in your field. If you are a statistician, no, so and so is doing, he did statistics and is working with this company, so that they guide you, not necessarily to connect you. Some people just tap on people to seek for connection, but that is not the most important thing. The most important thing, it can be mentorship and guidance. Let them guide you. How did they move their journey? What are your aspirations? What are you looking at? You don't have your role model. You don't have any role model in your field, and you expect to get a job, which is okay. And now we were still talking about, I don't want us to go far away from what we are talking about. We are talking about how can you overcome these challenges. We talked about growing expectations. We talked about how you can deal with peer pressure and pressure from parents and what. We talked about that confusion. We talked about getting connections here and there.
Engaging yourself internships, seeking for mentorship, career guidance. There are very many ways how we can overcome this.
Now, there is one person who I was watching some video, and he was talking about people who had recently graduated, so they were just questioning some question, and he said maybe they should introduce a course called Kuyiriba. You know Kuyiriba?
Okay,
yeah, you know, for me, I'm in Uganda.
I'm a
Munyankole, but I got land in Kampala, so I have citizenship here. So gigs, hustling. They should. He was saying that they should introduce Kuyiriba as a course, and it should be made compulsory for all the students, regardless of which course you're doing. And I saw some sense in that, because imagine you have just finished campus, and you see some people Kuyiriba. They are selling this, they are working these minor jobs, and actually that one drives me back to undermining jobs. Very many students, recent graduates, undermine jobs.
There is some video I saw, it was so much trending on TikTok.
So you are a TikTok fan?
Yeah.
Okay, you use it to film videos or
no, I normally use it to follow people so that I can get updated on different things which are happening in the country.
That is very good.
So there is some TikTok video I saw. He was a boy actually. He had graduated from some university in Uganda, and he was doing a good course. So after his graduation, he went to the street. He started selling these door drums, you know, like those doors which be beating. Anyway, what he said, we shouldn't despise jobs, and you should do this in a way that we are only looking the way to survive after campus, as we try to get other jobs which are in line with what we studied.
Because I remember you talked about survival.
Yeah.
After campus, your aim should be survival.
You're in Kampala. Water is money. When you're going to buy one on your money, everything you step someone's tomato, you need to pay.
Yeah.
So everything here in Kampala, more especially, it is just when you don't have, mind you, things become very worse on your side.
Someone you find is recommended for a certain job. Maybe you find they did maybe medicine, but they haven't gotten a job that is in their what?
In
their field.
Yeah.
But they find they have been recommended for to go and teach somewhere, and they don't want it. And they say, that is what, for me, I'm a doctor. Okay, what is your degree bringing to the table at the moment?
Another thing, when we talk of this, not despising jobs, there are some jobs, though you can find they are not in line with what you studied, but they be like, we are going to employ you, but will you be able to be working at night shifts? Yeah. And I'm very sure most of us, we find it hard to like always do night shifts.
For me, I can do any work. Any
I personally, I can't
Yeah.
despise anything, like any job. We are on this matter of jobs. If it is night shift, I can do it. If it is to work from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., I can do it. As long as you get what you want and you know that after some time, you will be better off in something you want.
Talking about the night shift and what?
Yes.
I've remembered something. As I was sharing my personal experience and what, I didn't talk about this. When we were diving into sensors, for me, I used to work in UBOS, in this IT personnel who are provisioning the tablets, which they called copies, that were used in what? In sensors. I was among the team that was provisioning those tablets. And I used to work night shift. Night shift, they would give me 40,000 every night. I just ate at around 8, I leave at around 6 in the morning. And by that time I was studying. I spent like a month, I think, a month or like 3 weeks. And they were giving me 40,000 just a simple night.
Actually, this brings to you that you can adopt each and every environment you go to work in. You see, most of the girls out there, they are like, for me, I can't do night shift.
But girls have serious problems.
We girls, we have a lot of problems. But I personally, I can manage. And there is one job where I was working a night shift for 3 consecutive months, working night shifts.
Then for you are a bro.
I think I'm.
You are a bro. You are. But it's very good. I like that.
Yeah. Because the era we are in now, don't expect a boy is going to provide you with anything. Those people you call our boyfriends, they want to give you everything you need.
And yet you have just told me you don't have a boyfriend. Oh, you are talking to the viewers.
I'm talking to the viewers and the people around.
I should lower my expectations. Okay.
But the thing is, my advice, we should be so hard in each and every environment. If it means working night shifts, please go and work. You never know where your chance comes from. You might be working night shift and someone will be like, hey, can't we shift this lady to the day shift? And you start your life from there.
That is it. Yeah. Don't undermine any job. As long as it brings money to your table, don't undermine any job. Whether you did medicine, whether you did accounting and finance, whether you did which engineering, whether you got 4.9, whether you got 5.5, whether you got which GPA, whether you did law, please, you can do any job. Put off that degree, put off actually degree. They say it is just a dress or what the other thing they put on, but you can just put it on the meantime. Do any job that is available as you trust God for any other job.
And as I'm concluding, what I can tell you people, put God above everything. Let him be on the wheel. Wherever you're taking your applications, play over that. Thank you so much, my guest of today. As we conclude this show, I want to remind you people, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. Until we meet next Saturday for the other program.
Maybe so before we finish, I can just put these remarks down, and what I want to tell you is one. Don't lose hope. That is one. Keep applying. It doesn't mind how many times you apply, but apply. You never know where your luck will come from. And another thing, there was one theologian. He was a philosopher. He was called Martin Luther King. He said one statement. He said, if you cannot fly, please run. If you cannot run, walk. If you cannot walk, crawl. But by all means, you gotta keep moving. Thank you so much. You have been a nice audience. Hope to see you again soon.
Have a good day. Have a good time. See you next Saturday as we come with another program to discuss more. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe on our channel. YouTube channel. Don't forget to share with your friends, with your parents. Just, I love you so much. I remain Ainembabazi Adellah, a presenter of Straight Youth Program on Elvet Voice TV, amplifying voices, inspiring the world. Thank you so much. See you next time. Hello everyone who is watching us on Elvet Voice TV, amplifying voices, inspiring the world. This is Adellah Ainembabazi, a presenter of a Straight Youth Program.
Namanya Jim is my name. How are you, Ainembabazi?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're very good.
Yeah,
This is Elvet Voice TV, amplifying voices, inspiring the world.